Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pub. It's Saturday night. I hope you all are doing well. Sorry about the little bit of a delay to get started here. Things got away from me. All right, we got Scum TV, Just Stevo, Last Dance. Good to see you, man. Can of beer. Yeah, I hear you. Yep, buddy. Eastwind Farms, what's going on? All right, all right. Wife's here. Cool. Hi, wife. Good to see you. I mean, I just saw her. Working Blue, what up? Welcome. Don't really recognize the name, but very cool. Do you, Last Dance? No. Last Dance is in the green room in case anyone's wondering, so I can see what he's like. He can give me signals. He just shook his head. No, he doesn't recognize the name. And wonderful. Thank you for being here, Working Blue. That's cool. Maybe a random person who just happened to see me. Dank Brandon, what is up? Glad you made it. Good to see you, man. Lovely day here in the state of Massachusetts. Just beautiful weather. Right around 80 today with a offshore breeze coming from the south. So it was I would call it a southeast wind. So that brings the warm air up, but it gets the chop up a little on the ocean at the same time. So yeah, good. Glad everyone made it. Cool. A lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight. Definitely wanting to talk about Texas. And rest in peace to all the people who lost their lives in that flooding. That's absolutely horrible. I hope it doesn't turn political, but it already seems to be political as always. So sadly, everything goes that way in this country, unfortunately. Well, what are you going to do? I strung up my guitar. Finally, got new strings on it. Haven't played for a long time here. Not sure if I should or not, but we can decide that later. And I'm going to go ahead and get Last Dance on here whenever he's ready. First, let's do a quick shot. I'm going to feature a little of this today. Casamigos Tequila. Does anybody recognize that guy? That is George Clooney. And he made somewhere around $400 million off of this shit. And these guys are getting sued now. They make so much of this. There's just not enough agave to go around. Stuff takes like 10 years to ripen. Oh, that is smooth. Exactly, Cup of Tea. Two names that I haven't heard or thought of in a while. And Lacey used to join us here on the pub. Healthy girl as she was, a woman. I did enjoy when she would join us here. Never had Big Earn. He was sort of became, I think it's about $40 to $50, somewhere in that range, Eastwind. Big Earn became somewhat of a celebrity after the Scherstraumen video went like extremely viral. Him and his buddies who kind of looked like Tejano gangsters opened up some Scherstraumen, which is like fermented herring from Norway, and it's in a can, and it builds up a tremendous amount of pressure in the can. So when you open it, it spews out this noxious gas that smells absolutely horrible, like rotting fish, ammonia, that sort of thing. Interestingly enough, people who eat it say it doesn't taste as bad as it smells, but Great old school live leaker, that Big Ern. And his father, his name was White Crow. Seemed like an all right guy, too. In fact, I kind of got into it with him a little bit, and then I realized who he was, and I kind of backed off because he's a lot older than me. I try to have some respect for my elders. And as such, hi, Albert.
Oh, man.
How you doing?
That's respect. All right. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Just
George
gorgeous.
Clooney made $400 million.
Something like that off of that tequila. It's
That's
so
more
popular.
than he made acting.
Exactly. Like he didn't need it. He probably made 250 on acting and then added, I'm sure he's on the north side of $500 million.
Yep.
We're still on the...
Yep, still on the Alexander Murray and Company.
Wow, Shoe Nice. I still wonder if the Shoe Nice chugs were all real, the bottles. What do you think?
I never believed they were, but
supposedly Big Ern tried it, and his lady was there, the one with the big fake knockers, and he got like violently ill. I don't know if that was real because the video seemed kind of sus. No, I'm not talking about Ludafisk. That is a different thing altogether. I'm talking about Scherströmmen. Ludafisk is a different thing. It's cod that is dried, and it has a ton of lye in it, I believe, and you have to soak it a bunch to get the lye out. That's also nasty stuff. Both are survival foods from the northern countries, like Iceland, Norway, that zone. Rotting shark is another one. Man, they really had it tough up there. Nasty stuff, dude. But you never believed Shoe Nice was really doing it, huh?
I didn't. It wasn't like I was, absolutely certain that he was faking. I just, on balance, I didn't believe it.
I mean, theoretically, how hard is it to put that shrinky wrap plastic around a bottle that you've opened, poured the booze out of, and put, say, water in, if it was a fifth of Smirnoff? Not that hard.
It's not that hard. Although, to be honest, I wouldn't have thought he could pull that off either. So I don't know what to believe with Shoe Nice or Shoe Nice or however you pronounce it.
Shoe Nice. I believe his name was Chris Shoe.
Oh, okay.
In real life. And I'm not doxing him because he said that on... Not that he would ever see this, but... Last night was cool. Last week was cool. I know we talked about it Wednesday, but we can recap it here on the pub. It seemed like a mellow but nice pub.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I watched my part last night. My voice, it wasn't that clear.
Yeah, it's okay.
You could somewhat understand me, but it wasn't like... If you had headphones and decent audio, you could definitely understand me. People just listening on a phone or a laptop probably had a hard time. But, hey, them's the breaks. Did you do anything fun in summary today?
Well, I got out and weeded a little bit. That's summary. It's not fun, not at all, but that's about it. We went...
Did you ever get any tomato plants going or anything?
My daughter put tomato plants up, and they're doing...
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the deer have taken a bite out of one.
The deer are going to decimate them, dude. That's why I have mine inside my yard with the fenced-in yard. I used to have them outside of it.
Yeah. I took a video of a couple deer that came through. They didn't eat the tomatoes. They ate some weed that they really liked. I don't know what it's called, but it's got they eat the tops of them off because they're spoiled deer. They don't even eat the whole plant. They just eat the tops.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, try to protect them because my tomato plants are like, no lie, 7 feet tall now. And they look
We
at
have, there's no
fire.
place on our property that gets enough sun, is my opinion. Because
I get 6 hours a day. That's all you need.
I think we do get that much. Yeah.
6 solid hours of good sun is plenty to get. I've got probably 200 green tomatoes that are all going to ripen at the same time. And
wow.
I just got to figure out, and the cucumbers I've got hundreds of cucumber flowers, which I imagine are going to be, every flower represents a cucumber.
I don't know.
Hey, Topple. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, exactly. Spoiled deer. They probably eat 80% of landscape bushes, and tops of certain weeds. They love
spoiled around here.
Yeah. Okay, so Scum Nose Blue, right on. Intermediate tomatoes, yeah, totally. Cool. So any of you all want to join in here? Jump on. You're more than welcome.
What rating system?
Is there a rating? There is a rating system, isn't there? I think I noticed this.
Where is it? Oh, with the king hats. I don't even know what they are. Crowns. I don't know what's up with that.
Well, Scum gets a king hat. What the hell does that mean?
I have no idea.
RW's gets one. He's number 2. But I hold my finger over it and nothing happens. It doesn't explain it.
No, it doesn't. Top fans. I don't know. Most comments. I don't know.
Rando. Oh, look, Last Dance. You get your number 3, King. Yeah, I don't know what it means. Tell you the truth. So it's bizarre. Just Steve-O. It's comments, numbers of comments.
It's just the number of comments. Okay. I can believe it.
Burger King, says Scum. Yeah, I hear you. I haven't been to that place in years. Topple.
Snob.
Yeah, I mean, call me crazy, but the people who work there don't look that capable. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even touch the food. Just goes from the freezer to like a conveyor belt, and
supposedly there's a flame broiling going on there.
Yeah, but I suspect it's just a conveyor belt. They don't even, it's timed, and so there's no requirement to have even enough of a brain to know when to take the burger off the grill or the broiler.
Huh. It's based on chat interactions, but not directly based on the number of chats sent. Interesting. That is such a bizarre... I don't even really understand what a chat interaction is. And also, Scum, if it covers multiple channels, Scum has, when he does his streams, he's going to have a huge amount of chats going on over there, chat interactions. So,
yeah.
RW, you going to join in tonight? Just curious. Is he working on something?
I don't know.
Feeding the chickens. See, I have these subjects in mind, but I do tend to want to wait. He is gonna wait till some other people join in, or else
they'll just ask about it when they join in,
and we'll recover the same subjects twice. Is that your first glass since last pub?
Yeah, it is.
Good for you. You're a good man.
I wanted to talk about the interim report on the Air India crash. whenever it's right, whenever the time is right.
I think that's a good subject for now.
Oh no, I'm not ready.
All right.
So the Indian authorities that are investigating the Air India, I think it's Flight 171 that crashed.
Hmm.
They have put out an interim report, which contains some interesting information. There are no conclusions that the report reaches. That'll wait for the final report. But they did release some factual information, and it does kind of lay to rest some of the theories circulating out there. But you can't really tell why this occurred yet, not from this report. It appears that the plane took off normally. Everything was fine. There was no reduced power. The rollout was normal. It had a normal amount of time to get airborne. The flaps were set at 5. There was some theories that I was believing in, possibly that the flaps were not deployed. They were deployed.
What is this rod thing that people say comes out when there's engine failure?
So that was the ram air turbine.
Ram air. And that keeps the electronics going.
Yeah, it's basically a propeller. It's a windmill, basically, that generates power. Not all the power. It can't replace the engine for generating power, but it does immediately start generating power when it deploys.
Right.
And it can power some of the it can power the flight displays, the flight deck, and a few other things.
I imagine a lot of that stuff is low voltage.
Yeah, I think it is. It's lower voltage.
So
it can also provide some hydraulic power too.
Interesting. But yeah, with 100 and whatever miles an hour of wind spinning this thing, it's going to be generating a lot of force, which if you can turn that energy into electricity, that would be substantial. Did that thing deploy?
It did deploy.
Okay.
They have conclusive video evidence. They have the flight data recorder says it deployed, and there's audio evidence that it deployed. So everything seemed to be normal. The plane reached 180 knots, which is a good speed at that point. And right at that point, the fuel cutoff switches were thrown.
And now you told me that that's a multi-move switch, meaning it has to go up and then switched.
The switch, you have to pull it up, then move it, and then let it fall back into place.
Right.
And it's designed that way so that you can't accidentally just, sweep your hand across and move it. Now, nobody knows why or how these switches got moved. The report doesn't give a hint.
Did they say one of the pilots asked the other, why did you hit that switch? And he said, I didn't?
Yes. There was obviously a lot of discussion on the cockpit voice recorder, but the interim report only released that immediately after those switches were thrown, one pilot asked the other, why did you throw the cutoff switches? And the other pilot said, I did not do that. Oof. So that's, deepens the mystery of what happened. So that's pretty much what happened. Somehow the fuel cutoff switches were thrown. The fuel was cut off. The engines spooled down. About 10 seconds later, they were switched again from the cutoff position to the run position, as if somebody was trying to fix as best they could, fix the problem. When the switches are thrown back to the run position and the plane is in flight, the plane will automatically try to restart the engines, and it did. And it did restart. Number one was restarted and was actually gaining, spooling up, and number two was restarted, but it still hadn't stopped slowing down yet.
Mm.
And then they ran out of time, and the plane crashed. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a very fast run out of time. This thing
yeah,
was.
it was. We're talking, a few seconds after the plane lifted off, maybe 3 seconds, the fuel switches were thrown to cut the fuel off. Then 10 seconds later, they were put back into the run position. And then maybe 10 or 15 seconds later, the plane hit the ground. So there really just wasn't enough time to restart the engines. So that's what happened.
I still think it's a design flaw that switch can be hit at that particular time, that close to the ground.
Well, there are people saying maybe you shouldn't allow that fuel cutoff switch to be effective while the engines are at a high thrust setting,
Sure.
because the takeoff thrust, the throttles were never reduced. The plane was at takeoff thrust all the way until it crashed. So, um, yeah, that's some people suggested. Yeah, maybe that you could modify the cutoff switch logic so that it doesn't function if the plane is at a high throttle setting, because it doesn't make sense to cut off the fuel with the throttles at a high setting.
So is RW insinuating possibly a foreign entity?
I don't think that the
Somehow
I'm not
they
sure, but I think that's probably not possible to move the switches remotely.
should only work. No, I guess, yeah, no, not the same though, Eastwind, because cops need their guns at all times. This switch would only be needed at certain times. Like, what times would the switch be needed?
It's needed before you take off and after you land. It is needed in an emergency if there's a problem with the engines, like a fire.
Wouldn't that be when you're on the ground already?
No. If there's an in-flight engine fire, and they happen. So, but even a more protected switch would still be accessible in the event of an emergency like that. So it's not like that's a contradiction to what you're suggesting.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is that would you ever hit that switch in the moment when they hit it in the first 1,000 feet of takeoff, vertical feet?
It'd be very unusual, especially in that circumstance, because you need power. Even if you had an engine fire, you would still need the engine power, and you might be willing to trade. There's everything like that is a trade-off, risk and benefit. I think in that situation where you need to be able to climb away from the ground, I think you would choose to go with the engine on fire, at least to get enough altitude so that you could turn around and make it back to the runway.
Right. I just feel like the only result in using it at that particular moment is the result that we got, which was
Yeah, I think so.
100% fatality.
Right.
Hello, Blue. Thank you for joining us. You are muted. That's okay.
What's up?
What's going on? Do you know much about this air disaster that we're talking about?
I have no idea. I don't watch the news.
Oh, man. Well, you're probably happier because of it.
Do you get your news from alternate sources, or do you just not get you're not a news person?
I'm just not a news person. I don't watch the news.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I watch. I get a lot of news on Twitter. I watch some political shows. Most of it I watch for some level of entertainment, I guess.
Gotcha.
And there is some insight when there is a disaster like this, or the flooding in Texas, the wildfires in California. Some of the grassroots reporting that was done out there. What's that girl's name on Twitter? Fire Photo Girl or California Photo Girl? She did some great live reporting during the fires, and she gained a lot of followers for that. Like I like that sort of thing, but I hear you. In the mainstream news is kind of played otherwise. I get what you're saying. The Terminators take over. She doesn't want to know. Yeah, there you go, Dick Brandon.
I just don't want to know what's going on in the world. Like, it doesn't affect me right in this moment. Like, I don't need to know.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Unless, yeah, there you go, Eastwind. Right. And it seems like at that crucial moment where this plane was, to cut off fuel it's unreal.
Yeah, I think people will rethink these particular gauges based on this crash. Now, what we don't know, and people are conjecturing, is that this is a pilot murder-suicide.
Oh, wow. That's nuts.
I don't really think the report, of course, doesn't reach any conclusions. That will have to wait for the final report. But there's reasons to doubt that. For one thing, I don't think that phase of the flight is the best phase of the flight to commit suicide. I think you would wait till the plane gets a little more altitude. There was always a possibility that this plane could have crash landed successfully if there had been a field, for example, ahead of it instead of a heavily campus there. So I just don't think it's the kind of spot in time in the flight when you would throw these switches. That doesn't mean that it isn't pilot suicide. It just doesn't seem like an obvious one. The other one is that when the pilot said, "Why did you throw the switch?" the other pilot said, "I didn't." So if you were doing this intentionally, you would just say, "Yeah, I threw it because I'm tired of living, and we're going down."
There's a little bit of the old, Igor what hump. No, I didn't.
Right. That's also possible, right?
It's the simple answer.
So I definitely
what switch? No, I didn't touch it.
I definitely think pilot suicide has to remain one of the likely scenarios, but it's not. There's reasons to find that scenario wanting in some aspects.
It's not like, correct me if I'm wrong on the airline, but I believe it was a French plane. Was it in Air France, where the guy flew into some mountains, maybe the Alps, going an astronomically fast speed, and that
was German Wings was the name of
German Wings. There wasn't much left.
Right. That was an obvious pilot suicide. Though even then, the family of the pilot, I think his name was Andreas Sturbenz or something like that. I think his family said, no, he would never do that. So, but the flight data recorder had him locking the other pilot out, then setting the autopilot to descend to 100 feet.
Wow.
In a mountain range. So the plane flew directly into a mountain and everybody died.
Damn.
Is that 100 feet above the ground or 100 feet above sea level?
100 feet above sea level. So
being that they're in the mountains, the base of the mountain's probably however many thousand feet. So
yes, exactly. He was guaranteed to cause an accident.
So are all of the readings that a plane gets with altitude from sea level or from the ground?
There's a device called a radio altimeter that reads your height above the ground.
Okay.
other, like the barometric altimeter, is the height above sea level.
Interesting. Yeah, so if you're flying low in Death Valley, you could be at or slightly below sea level and still be 100 feet off the ground.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, that's trippy, man. Lee, jump on here, buddy. Lee's got all kinds of aviation facts and figures. I don't know. Had you heard of this?
No, I hadn't, but I think maybe, is he thinking of Pakistan, maybe? Because there was a crash a few years ago, Pakistan, that was just the most appalling bit of piloting I've ever seen. Okay.
Interesting.
Thanks.
What happened with the Pakistan thing?
The aircraft, the pilots were like chatting it up instead of paying attention to their tasks.
Nice.
And they they didn't configure the plane to land soon enough. So they were kind of way behind in their tasks to get it to land. And they tried to, instead of just going around and getting configured, they like dove the plane down to get down to the runway, and they were going way too fast. So the logic of the Airbus they tried to put the gear down, but the Airbus refused because the plane was going faster than 250 knots or something. And, they didn't pay any attention, evidently, to the fact that the gear didn't go down.
Jesus.
So they landed the plane like the gear was down, but there was no gear. So they ended up landing it on the engines.
Fireball.
And the engines were damaged. And they took off again because they didn't have any, because obviously they realized then that they didn't have the gear down, planning on coming around again, but the engines quit at some point after the damage had finally kicked in, and they never made it back around and crashed.
Somebody here was talking about the space shuttle, Lee. We've had a few space shuttle issues. Do you know what one he's referring to? Is that Challenger or Columbia? Sorry, Columbia.
I don't know. Let her have go. No, I don't remember that.
I'm gonna go.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
Stopping by,
thanks for
dude.
having me.
Peace. Be well. That was nice to have a new visitor. Which was the one that had Krista McAuliffe?
That was the Challenger.
And the one that went over Texas that kind of fragmented up in the sky?
That was Columbia.
Columbia. That one seemed to not get as much media attention as Challenger.
Yeah, it did. It was further along in the program. The Challenger disaster had idiot NASA had put the first teacher in space, and there was, school children all over the country were watching this happen live. It was,
me.
Yeah. Okay.
I saw it. I think
so
it was 86. I was 10.
Yeah. January of 86, as I remember.
And my teacher cried. She bawled her eyes out in front of the class. It was very sad.
So it was just a huge screw up by NASA, both because they put someone in space for public relations reasons, and because they, they made sure that the eyes of the world were on it when they launched it in the winter and too cold of a temperature, and that was that.
Not too soon. I mean, it's right. I mean, I don't like to laugh at people who died in a tragic fireball, but well played, cup of tea. Well played. Best crash this week was Trump's cabinet. Not bad.
Not bad.
Is Bongino still in? Is it Bongino or Bongino? Hard G or J?
I don't know. I say Bongino.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's kind of a silly sounding name, but
No, he's the deputy director of the FBI, so I don't think there's any reason why he would resign. I think it's Pam Bondi who kind of was the face of the Epstein files, and
she seemed pissed off about the fact that the information that she was given had already been released, but she didn't realize it was the same information.
well, I certainly couldn't understand why she'd be pissed off. She was made a fool of,
Exactly.
but it's her own fault for being a lazy blonde who didn't bother to follow through, check things up, and make sure that everything was, cool.
What did she think? It was no Peaksy? She couldn't look? Like, I mean, why
Who
didn't she
knows?
verify what the hell it was? I mean,
I have no idea. We have people to do that. That's what my underlings are for. And I can't be bothered to read the file I'm giving to the other people.
yeah, well, that file seemed to have people on the edge of their seats, like millions of people who thought that it really existed. And then the fact that when they came out and said, no, it doesn't, now you've just created a massive conspiracy that's going to live forever.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be people like, oh, I don't know, maybe this guy.
Hey, Based.
Good evening. Good evening, all. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Loud and clear. Nice and clear.
Good. I've literally just joined, so I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
We were just talking about that list that existed, but apparently it had already been released, and now it doesn't exist because it was already released. So
yeah, I mean, it's a joke. The whole thing's a joke. Last Dance has never really, I've always said it's a Mossad-led operation. He's always scuffed at the idea of it, and it is. That's what it is. And yeah, they're not saying fuck all, and they're closing it down because it implicates a lot of VIPs, like we've all been saying. And for the people of like, what's his name, Ben Shapiro and all that, to say, oh yeah, it's literally on the importance of the American public, it comes in as zero. Well, that's funny because you got to Turning Point UK. You listen to any of the speeches, that's all they're fucking talking about. All they're talking about. They literally give like call outs and they say, do you think it's what they're saying is truthful or not? And the whole audience is in uproar saying, no, and it is important. And yeah, you're just trying to gaslight us and bullshit us into basically making it a non-subject.
well, true. And also, one of your princes was actually on the real list that did come out.
Prince Andrew's a nonce, sue me.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, he was on the damn thing. I mean,
well,
I don't think
he'll have to explain about the 12 million he had to pay her. That'll be the first.
Well, there is a list of people who were accused by Virginia Giuffre, and he was one. Marvin Minsky was another. Alan Dershowitz.
Dershowitz is a big one for me because that guy.
Yeah, and he's the lawyer.
Yeah,
he's done everything. He's defended the what are they called, the ASP? No, I'm screwing up my words here, but didn't he defend OJ?
I think he defended FD.
He might have been on that team, but I don't really remember him from the OJ team.
Mm-hmm. But he seems really implicated as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm willing to say that every name that Virginia Giuffre named is legit. I'm willing to credit her. We know, I have no doubt about Prince Andrew because we have that photograph of him with his hand on her ass.
Jesus, so disturbing.
So there's no point, there's no way that photograph can be explained away as some innocent gesture.
And the property exists. I mean, I even Google streeted it, and the property does exist, and it's all legit. It's owned by him.
So I think the other names are just as likely. Glenn Dubin is the other, and I think that's it. That should be like 5 names.
I mean, listen to this rundown real quick of some clients of Dershowitz. OJ, Epstein, Assange, Weinstein, Trump. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy has had some really serious cases, man.
Well, he was kind of, a top-notch lawyer, considered a top-notch lawyer. So, yeah. So,
Buzz von Bulow, I didn't realize he defended him. Wow, for an attempted murder case. Damn.
yeah.
But what do you think? Do you think it stinks?
Talking
Yeah.
to, Smoke Steve?
Yeah, either of you.
Evening. I think that honestly it was probably like I said, I think the way this was came out to the public, it was bound to create mad conspiracy theories, but I really don't think there's anything there, I guess. I don't think they're hiding some master list. First of all, if they are, I do believe, if not up until now, there will be a whistleblower. There would be a lot of people involved here. And that information would never stay secreted forever. It will come out. You'd have to have a trail of dead people to keep it secret.
Well, I mean, JFK killing was an example from the 1960s till present date. That basically it just created a lot of people saying their ideas, and guess what? They were right.
What?
Well, he's saying this that he believes there's mostly nothing more to the subject than we already know. Well, so why is Ghislaine spending 20 years in fucking prison? Did she procure VIPs and nobody? Sorry, did she procure nobody to do nothing? Why is she spending 20 years in fucking prison if fuck all happened?
Well, no one says fuck all happened. That's not it at all. I'm saying that there's probably not a list. That doesn't mean that there's not guilty people. And I think that's what the focus should be on. The focus should be on what did the police ask the other victims. We know only one victim's accounting, Virginia Guffrey. There were other victims. What were their accountings? We don't know what they said. And maybe they didn't know who they were servicing. I don't know, but I kind of like to see the focus on what was said by Ghislaine Maxwell during her debriefings, and maybe she said nothing. Maybe her lawyer said don't say anything, but maybe she did say something. What did she say? That's what I'd like to find out. He's already in prison.
Trafficking women. I thought she got done for trafficking girls.
Yeah, she was convicted by a jury.
To nobody.
So then the question you got to ask yourself is if she's trafficking girls and she's got prosecuted, who was she trafficking them for? Especially when you understand the circles they're moving in. So they had to be supplied to somebody.
I'm not denying that. Not at all.
Well, they're untouchable, Lee, and everyone just it's a bit like the grooming in the UK. Just turn a blind eye to it, basically. Because
no. What you're saying is that there's a list. A list is a piece of paper or some document.
What I'm saying, it was a Mossad operation.
Names. No, it's not a Mossad operation. Why is it a Mossad operation? Because Epstein is Jewish?
Well. Let's look at the connections. Ghislaine Maxwell's father was a well-known Mossad agent. It wasn't anything hidden there. Like Ghislaine Maxwell.
I've never heard that his father was a Mossad agent.
It's not even denied. Okay.
Well,
it's not even denied. It's not even denied. So I mean, you might not know it, but that's the reality.
Okay.
So her father was a Mossad operative. Who would suggest she might be a Mossad operative? It's not a million miles away to think that, would there? And
you can think anything you want. If that's your only evidence that her father was allegedly a Mossad operative, that's pretty
Well,
not
the
evidence
alleged,
at all.
you can throw the alleged out when it comes to her father. There's no alleged about it, really. Don't think he was even denied by himself in the end. Mossad, Mossad, when it comes to like these honey trap sort of things, is well known for it. It makes a lot of sense that you would get VIPs, put them into compromising positions with very young girls or young ladies, and then video the interaction that might go ahead. And if you took the bait and you're a fucking
Yeah,
nonce,
that's all a great theory, but there's no evidence of that. So I'm not really interested in you jumping from a theory to it must be true.
you explain to me why none of the
I
perps
would
were
find it hard to.
mentioned. Well,
I
why
find
weren't
it
none
hard
of
to
the perps?
understand
Wait
that.
there, wait there. Let me just finish this off with him.
Yeah.
Why weren't none of the perps mentioned by name during the Ghislaine Maxwell trial? Don't you think that would be very, very unusual to have a trial where you convict someone of prostituting children to VIPs, yet
What the fuck?
you don't name any of the VIPs?
I mean, I don't know what the trial was. It was a trial by
Well,
jury. So
yes, but it was arranged that they wouldn't mention by name any of the perps in the trial before the trial started. So this was a requirement of the trial. Think about it. We
I
can't
don't
talk
I
by
don't
name but the
I don't know the
VIPs.
details of the trial, so
Well,
I can't comment on it.
well,
But I'm
I know that was part of the trial that they're not allowed to mention the perps by name, but you
well,
convict
maybe
someone for 20 years for providing to the perps. Really unusual.
I can't see the whole bubble down below here. Can you see him?
I see T215.
He's camera's on now. I can't click him on. Something wrong here with my
I
shit,
can.
dude. Can
You
you
want me
click
to
him on?
like that?
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, Lee.
No,
You
it's
guys
fine.
block me?
I was just going to say, base that it's it. I mean, in support of what
Hey,
he's saying,
McGrandy.
is
Hey,
that
Hey
Topper.
guys.
you've
Hey,
got if you've got
thank you, buddy.
that one particular girl who whistleblows on Prince Andrew, it's very unlikely it's just one famous person, and why other girls aren't. You know, maybe they have named people and it's being hidden. But I find it very unusual that where there's smoke, there's fire. If Prince Andrew was one of the people, which seems to be pretty well proven, he paid her off and this, that, and the other. Then I'm sure there are other
Hey there,
famous
buddy.
people.
See you. All right, buddy.
Hi guys.
Look, here's the bottom line. I would like to see the perpetrators named too. And I think there's more, obviously more than just the 5 that Virginia Guffey named.
Well, that's the one she knows about, doesn't it? She was abused by 5 different perps, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes. So that's not the totality of what was going on there, was it?
Well, actually, there were 7, but she could only name 5.
Yeah.
But that's only a fraction of them. That's what I think the focus should be on, not on this, it's this mysterious list that's never been shown to actually exist.
Wait, you're saying it doesn't exist?
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying that I have not seen any evidence that it exists. I've seen people assume that there's an Epstein client list, but I've never seen anyone provide any evidence that there was an Epstein client list, nor is there any reason that I would think there would be an Epstein client list. Epstein, he has no benefit to having a list of clients because he doesn't really have clients. He's not a pimp.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I actually agree with you. I think
we should
it's
probably
been
end
a
it right
farce
here.
from the beginning. I don't think that guy would. You notice when you see him in the videos, he's a little
I see what
guy.
you mean.
He's a little guy. You notice that?
Oh, I see what you mean, Smoke Steve. Now there's a second row. I can't get down to that row.
All right.
I'm trying to send them a repair ticket question to.
I don't know if you can hear me.
McGranda,
I
when you
can
say
hear you.
small people, what do you mean? Like small people don't write down a client list?
Midgets.
No,
You want
No,
me-
not
it's like
midgets.
it's like
Hey, what does
I
this button do?
I
Uh,
I'm a I observe people from a distance. You know what I mean?
I can't see
So
what it is down there.
I noticed. Yeah, I'm a stalker. Yeah,
I could add them. I think it's
I'm
dank.
a hunter gatherer, actually, with what I am. But
A hunter-gatherer. Okay.
I'm a tracker, actually,
Right.
and so I notice the way people move, and there's things about height and
Fat people usually move
Hey,
slow.
My granddad,
I'm just saying
Granddad,
that
are you
there's
saying you
there's
didn't
no
do it?
set rule. I don't have a formula or a thesis that I can
Have you
prove
have you
this
got
for
small
you.
have you
but
got small hands,
I,
my granddad?
so you notice that
Show us your hands.
Epstein is a little fucker compared
Show
to
us your
Trump. You look
show
at
us
those
your hands, my
videos.
granddad.
You look at those videos of him next to Trump. Trump's what, like 6 foot?
6'5".
Nah, not 6'5".
Yeah, I
No
think so.
fucking, no fucking way. He's
6'6".
wearing lifts. If he's 6'5" and
Oh,
wearing
God,
a lift, it
lifts.
proves my
His
he
His son is 8 foot tall.
Yeah,
yeah
his son
yeah,
is like
but that was
seven or
genetically,
something, isn't
that was hormonal treatments, dude.
Oh, okay.
6'3".
it? Show
I'm
us
off
show,
by
All right,
one.
so he's 6'3".
show us your hands.
Epstein,
Also,
Epstein.
and
Look
also
at him
that
with
kid's
Epstein.
that kid's
So
mom is like a
Epstein,
supermodel.
just look at the videos of him next to Epstein. If he's 6'3",
Okay,
Epstein is. If
so
he's
what your
6'3",
what's your
he-
point, my granddad? What's your
my
point? Did we just
point
get
Yeah,
is
what's
edges?
it's all about dominance, dude.
So I'm a Trump fan. 'cause
Okay,
my height.
okay. So Napoleon wasn't a big chap, but he was pretty dominant.
No,
wasn't
no, I'm not going to diminish the power of a small,
he? Yeah.
people that aren't.
So let's just move on from whatever your
That don't
feelings
meet a
are.
certain height requirement because I don't give a shit about that. I'm
Yeah,
just
but-
saying it's an obvious, simple, clear
Yeah,
observation on my part.
Yeah,
And
suits
you know what?
Suits
Dave?
you simple.
I am simple, very simple. Yeah, maybe you should think that way too.
I'll remember to use small words next time.
I still
Well,
don't get the point.
Well,
I know.
wait.
Literally.
I want to know. I have a general question.
It's
out
just a
there. Do you
feeling,
notice the
Lee.
animosity?
We've got to listen to this
Do you
feeling
notice
of
the
his.
animosity of Based?
Just
He's
so
always
you
rejecting my
just come with
friendship
nothing.
with Topple.
You come with
My
nothing.
affection for Topple is almost an offensive thing for
Okay, last dance.
Based. I'm
Yeah, I'm
noticing
here.
that because I know who you are, dude. I've been watching you for a long, long time.
Fucking
You're
my
a sick
granddad.
man,
Oh,
but that's
God.
good. We need sickness and health, don't we?
Oh.
Appreciate your indulgence, guys.
I'm not going to be able to let anybody else on here. I don't think. Last
Why?
dance.
I don't I don't know how I will either. I sort of knew that was dank by the kind of the background.
Oh, you can't see their video before you pop them up?
No, there's
Well,
this new menu underneath.
There's a menu at the bottom, and you know, I only have a laptop. It's only the screen is only so wide. It can only have 5 guests on the first line in the green room. Then it goes down to the next line. Now I used to be able to see the next line, but now there's this menu that StreamYard is stuck in there this week that blocks half of the video of the second line. So
So you can't even let someone in, you're saying. It's not even not seeing them. It's,
no, I can let them in because there's just enough of theirs so that I can click on the add to stage button, but not enough that I could see them.
What?
I'm waiting to come in now, and you can't see me waiting on my phone.
Oh, you're not in the green room as far as I could tell.
All right, this is odd.
I'm very proud to be here among this Saracen incursion. I will stand with you guys.
All right, now I see you. I can add you if you want.
all right.
You added yourself.
I'm happy you're here, Magrande. I really am.
Me too, buddy.
Fucking Christ.
Dramaticus.
All right, hold on.
Two Steves.
A new guy called Steve. Hiya, Steve.
Fucking two Steves.
Two Steve.
I'm just wondering
He
if I
cloned
can...
himself.
You want me to remove
Beautiful shit, man.
the second Steve?
No, I'm trying to... I got two audios coming through here. It's crazy.
I could mute the second Steve.
Yeah, mute the second Steve.
Okay.
Check.
Steve number 2 is muted.
All right, what I want to do is see if I can...
If you got a better display on the phone.
Point that phone down, my friend. Not
Well,
up.
I could also turn the camera off for Steve number 2.
Yeah,
See.
there we go. I did it.
Okay, there you go. Actually, I don't think I could turn the camera off. That's half the
Bring
problem.
back that other Steve. Come on.
A younger Steve.
Younger Steve. Steve's a young man. You got a lot of years.
AI Steve.
McGrande, how's the weather down there?
Dude, it's actually pretty nice.
I'll be down there next weekend, so.
No shit.
Mhm.
It's perfect for fucking July. It's not dramatic in any way. It's actually becoming the normal, which means if you want to go out and get around, you got to go early and stay wet, stay in the AC. And in the afternoons, the thunderstorms are coming,
All right.
which is a good thing for that you want those, you know.
The roads are clear now? Like, there's no much traffic?
Yeah, it's starting to calm down big time.
They got rid of a lot of illegals there?
No,
Oh.